Now, I've got another cosplay AC build for you guys today, and this time it is the Takemikazuchi from Muv-Luv. Now, a while back when I got the request for the F228 Raptor, the person also mentioned the Takemikazuchi in their comment, so I've been planning to get around to this build, to this mech. I just had other things I wanted to get done first, right? But I finally gotten around to it, and unfortunately, just like with the F228 Raptor, I'm not quite super happy with it because there are a couple of design characteristics of these two mechs that just don't really, I can't really replicate them very well in Armored Core. I am, of course, specifically talking about the shoulders, the big sort of rectangular shoulders with the thinner, sort of slimmer arms that are close to the core. Unfortunately, again, there's just not a particularly good way to replicate that in Armored Core. Like the salad arms is probably the closest, because the arms are so wide and so bulky. I feel like it actually just looks worse with the salad arms than with almost anything else. So unfortunately, couldn't really represent those shoulder bits very well. But other than that, I am fairly happy with it. Now, I'm not exactly the most creative, like creatively gifted, so to speak. So, I'm sure someone else could do it better than me, but I'm happy with it overall. Now, the loadout for the Takemikazuchi in the Muv-Luv anime consists of either Type 87 support cannons or assault cannons, or Type 87 support assault cannons. Basically, the support assault cannon is like a sniper rifle version, kind of, right? It's got like a longer barrel. It's meant to be fired longer, and I think it's also mentioned that it's typically fired in single shot mode. And it can also have a sword and a close combat dagger. And the loadout I've decided to go for is 2 machine guns in the primary hands, then a linear rifle on the right shoulder to represent an assault cannon. So you've got that sort of option there. I will, of course, also just have a version that has just 4 machine guns. It'll have the ludlows on the back instead. I'll have that version for you too. It'll be very similar to the loadout of the F228 Raptor in that sense, if you want that instead. But other than that, I've got the linear rifle on the back, and also the pulse blade, right? The pulse blade as an option as well to represent the sword, of course. It's a pretty fun loadout. It's pretty simple. 2 machine guns, you blast away. They build up decent impact. You got the linear rifle for, finishing off those impacts. You can also charge it up to do some pretty significant damage, as well as a lot of impact. So it's a decent build. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it's a decent enough build. It's pretty fun. It's a fast AC. It's my understanding that this is meant to be a close combat mech, very mobile, right? And able to engage in melee combat. I wanted to make sure it was good for that. But yeah, I think that's enough about talking about it. Let's get into the details of the build. But first, of course, a quick look at the paint screen. All right, so this time around, the paint screen is pretty simple. I have decided to pretty much just go for all material 5. But as always, if you're on PC, there will be a PC share code in the link in the description, both for this weapon set and the weapon set of just machine guns. But as I was getting ready to say, I've decided for these anime cosplay builds, especially, I really like material 5 for these. Is 0 effectiveness, max luster. So it gives it a really nice metallic look, while also kind of keeping that anime look a bit as well. So I've decided basically for these anime cosplay builds, I'm just putting all the materials to 5. I just feel like I like it the best for anime cosplay builds. You might disagree with that, but I think it looks the best. So yeah, pretty simple paint screen this time. Just all material 5, RGB values. Again, if you're not on PC, we'll link below. Not much detail work on this build either. Not really much I felt I needed to do. Obviously for the shoulder bits, a little bit of detail work there, but that's literally it, actually. Yeah, that is literally it. I didn't see anything else that I needed to paint on, fortunately. So a pretty simple build. Yeah, I just had another look at the at the image of it just in case I missed something. But yeah, I don't think it needs anything else. Yeah, pretty simple build. So let's go ahead and get into the assembly. All right, now for the weapons, of course, in the main hand we've got 2 machine guns, the Chang machine guns, both in the left and right hands. And on the back, we've got first in the right arm unit, the right back unit, we've got Harris linear rifle. This is again to represent that support assault cannon, that long range sort of sniper version. And of course, in the left back unit, we've got the pulse blade that represents the sword it can use. Now, I will be providing a loadout that just simply has 2 ludlows on the back. If you'd rather just have 4 machine guns to sort of like, because I'm pretty sure these deploy with 4 assault cannons, right? I'm pretty sure that's how they deploy. Maybe I'm wrong. It might not be the case for the Takemikazuchi. But yeah, I'll be providing that if you want. And yeah, I don't think there's really too much else to say about the weapons, so let's go ahead and get into the frame. And for the frame, started with the head first, we've got the cassowary head. I really wanted that sort of horn look, that really long, tall horn that the Takemikazuchi has. Really wanted some way to kind of get that in, and I feel like the cassowary was the best option for that. I did consider the VP head, but it's in the wrong direction, right? So I kind of put the VP head aside pretty early and eventually decided. I also considered the Firmeza head, but it just didn't really work well enough. The HAL 826, other than just the other coloring bit being a bit of an issue, again, wrong direction. Ephemera is just like way too, shape is just way too wrong, right? So yeah, felt like the cassowary head was just kind of like the obvious choice here. For the core, I went the Firmeza core. This looks really, really close, actually. This is really, really nice. Definitely the only thing I considered here. I didn't consider any other option. The moment I saw the Takemikazuchi, I knew this was the core I was going to use. For the arms, again, I mentioned it before, but the Takemikazuchi has those really big shoulder bits that are kind of hard to represent. There are a couple ones that I've considered. Unfortunately, due to... I actually did like really kind of strongly consider these. Unfortunately, they're just so heavy that the best looking legs are from Firmeza legs, which are by far the most accurate looking. The build just can't carry them. I do feel like maybe honestly I'm not even sure if they look better than the Nocturne arms. Honestly, I just feel like there isn't a particularly good option. If you've got a recommendation for arms to use for the F22A Raptor and the Takemikazuchi, I would love to hear them, because maybe I'm just overlooking something, but I just feel like these and the salad arms, while technically having the most accurate looking shoulders, look really, really bad. I just feel like it looks even worse with it than with almost literally anything else, right? But if you got any recommendations, let me know. So yeah, I went and knocked her arms because they're pretty wide, right? They're pretty wide. They're pretty chunky shoulders. So I kind of figure it's still kind of the best option. So yeah, they're also really high, firearm specialization arms. So I figured, like, also just kind of gameplay wise, they fit pretty well. So that's why I went to knock to her arms. And finally, for the Firmeza, as I mentioned, these are really, really nice. They fit really well, appearance wise. So I do like these quite a bit for this build. A couple other ones I consider, like maybe something like the crawler legs, but shoulder bit just kind of sticks out a bit too much. Yeah, there were a couple other ones I considered, but I did go with the Firmeza legs in the end. I feel like it was the best fitting option personally. So yeah, that's about all there is to say about the frame. Let's go ahead and get into the internals. And for the internals first, for the boosters, I went for the gills. Again, my understanding, this is supposed to be a close combat specialist. So the fastest, most snappy quick boost boosters seem like the obvious choice here to me. Of course, the ludlows are a pretty decent option here. It is a pretty lightweight build, so it does have the the minimum quick boost reload time for the ludlows as well. And also, it would give it a faster boost speed. But I did feel like the gills were just a bit more fitting personally. Again, it is supposed to be something like a close combat specialist from my understanding. So I wanted it to be really fast and snappy and really nice movement. So I decided to go for the gills. Now for the FCS, I've actually gone for the WLT-001. This is because it has decent close range assist, and it also has really good medium range assist. This is to give you that nice ability to function quite well as a hybrid, right? You still got decent close range assist for the machine guns if you need to get them up close with them, right? But if you are using the linear rifle, the support assault cannon, you also have that really nice medium range assist as well. And I suppose it actually has pretty good long range assist too. WLT's a pretty decent one. I still think most of the time I prefer the Talbot in a lot of situations, but the WLT-001 I feel like fits really nicely here for this particular build. That's what I went for. And then finally, for the generator, for the sand type, big energy bar, really good energy recharge rate. Feel like the kind of obvious choice here, and don't need the extra energy supply from the coral booster, core generator. The Ming tank would also work quite well here. Personally, I just prefer having that bigger energy bar, and I feel like the small upgrade in the energy recharge isn't worth the trade-off, since you can carry the full Santai. And yeah, I guess that's really all there is to say about it, and of course there will be more gameplay here in a second, but as always, if you guys enjoyed the video, I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Teach them to behave. Wait, the radar. Are there more of them?
They're outside. Let's move to intercept.
Huh. You're the freelancer from the dam raid. And here I thought I'd just make some extra scratch. Guess I can settle the score at the same time. I see the coyotes got some help too. Don't forget to smile, tourist. I heard about you climbing a wall. Bet you think you're hot shit now. You're making a stink. What the hell? They're all over us. Help me out or we're both dead.
One repair kit remaining. No repair kits remaining.
All unidentified machines destroyed.
Now we can finally be alone. Your next freelancer. That ringing in my ears again. It'll be peace and quiet when you're gone.
Light and ammunition AP at 50%. AP at 30%.
Damn it! I would have had you. Don't you dare think you've won. Looks like it's over. I'll have the crew check out those mechs.
Raven, there's unidentified machines who are using encrypted communications. I'll do what I can to decrypt them.